Hey there. So, a couple of things have been changing, you may have noticed, and I have a webcam now. So, I decided to take the opportunity now that I have one to make a video explaining some of the changes. Some stuff has been a little slow recently, and I wanted to actually explain why. Most of that has been medically related. And although I don't really want to go into, all of that right now, I should at least explain some of it. So, um, I get the lovely opportunity to spend my Valentine's Day, you're going to be super jealous, having an ultrasound done on my kidney. Um, that'll be really fun. All jokes aside, though, it shouldn't actually be that bad. It's just an ultrasound. I have no idea what they're going to find exactly. Well, I mean, presumably a kidney, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know what. But yeah, it shouldn't actually be that bad. Other than that, there have been a couple of other things that have happened recently. I've been, in and out of the hospital doing various things, but I'm not going to go into every little detail that's happened. No one really needs to know all that. But it's, all right. And I have to have a couple of other tests done, although I'm waiting for the insurance to sign off on all that because American insurance companies, yay. But aside from that, I wanted to also take the opportunity to explain what else is going to be happening on the channel in, the future. So, any of you who've seen the Earth Siege 2 video and may remember that, may have noticed that it's sort of like a little postage stamp in the middle of the screen. That's kind of hard to watch. And I wasn't super happy with the way that turned out. And the main reason for that one being kind of screwy is that game is like over 20 years old and was really hard to record. Mostly, well, because it's over 20 years old and it takes a lot of nonsense to get that thing working on a modern system. And I found that out the hard way. Some games are really not that difficult really to play anymore on modern systems, especially if they're released on like GOG and stuff like that, and they do most of the footwork for you. Some games, though, are really tough to actually work with. Earth Siege 2, in my opinion, was one of those. Getting it to work at like a reasonable level wasn't that tricky. Getting it to actually work for a long period of time without crashing and doing all sorts of strange stuff was tricky. Then came the actual recording part, because just playing it like your average person would isn't too bad. Recording it while playing it, ooh, that wasn't easy. So I basically, once I started to get it working, I had three options that I remember. One, recorded at full screen at 1080p, and it crashed like every 8 seconds, like 6 to 8 seconds. It just crashed constantly, which obviously that's not conducive to recording at all. That's just impossible to record. Two, play it in sort of full screen-ish, kind of. But after like fiddling around with the settings outside of the game, for like an inordinate amount of time, excuse me, and record it like that, and it seemed to be working just fine. And I did that, and I actually got a fair amount of footage like that. And then I watched the footage afterwards, and the outside edges of the screen were cut off in the footage. It looked fine to me while playing and while recording, but like the outer 25% of the screen in the footage just wasn't there. I have no idea why. So obviously that footage had to be scrapped because I'm not going to show you footage that is like it's zoomed in almost. I don't know what was up with that. I wonder if maybe because of the settings that I was using, it had, say like, it was a viewport issue. I'm not sure. It was weird. Or recorded in the original 640 by 480 resolution, which is what I ended up having to do. And it looks kind of silly. It's like you're watching a postage stamp. It's actually watchable. I mean, if you're on a PC and you're viewing it in full screen, you can see it. You can see all the detail. It looks okay. The colors are nice. Imagine if you're watching it like on a phone. It looks sort of dumb. Maybe a little hard to watch. But other than that, I think it looks okay. I don't know, but still, that's a game that I really, really enjoyed and was a kind of a big part of my childhood, so I'm not necessarily okay with how that video turned out. And frustratingly enough, I actually did, after the video went up, of course, find out a way to record it in full screen and in full detail and everything without it crashing constantly, and it looks pretty good that way. So, I don't know, I guess I could have like taken the video down and have redone it. I'm not sure. But I am going to make another video of that sort, only better and shorter, of another game from my childhood that I actually really want to do. No hints on what it is. It may involve Nerf guns. Okay, one hint on what it is. But, yeah, so that's one video that's coming up that I'm going to be doing. And I still have to get some more footage from it. I'm not nearly done yet. But, so that's one thing coming up. It's a bit tough because it is sort of fiddly still, too. It's not quite as old as Earth Siege 2, but it's pretty old. And I would like to take a look at Wartile, because I have been looking at it occasionally on its early access page, and with some interest, because it's like a really beautiful miniatures kind of presentation. Every time I look at it, I'm really interested in what it is, but not quite sure about how it would play. And then now that it's out of early access, I've gotten really interested in actually playing it. And to my surprise, the publisher actually sent me a key for it. So I'm definitely going to be taking a look at that sooner rather than later. That's probably going to be one of my next couple of videos, actually. That's going to come out, maybe my next one after this. In fact, so Wartile is on the docket for sure, because that looks like my kind of thing. And also, I'm going to be breaking stuff on my desk. And what is next? Oh, I've also been meaning to look at Wayward, Terran Frontier Zero Falls, which is quite a mouthful of a title. And it's also a kind of hardcore looking sort of space sim with some like management-y seeming elements to it. It's in early access. It's been in early access for a while. And it's got this sort of interesting, I suppose, Star Sector vibe to it for me. In fact, let me look up the Steam page for it right now, just to give you more of a description for it. It calls itself a space exploration RPG. So again, Star Sector. And yeah, it's very much a sandbox looking game right now, but it seems quite interesting, honestly, because the art style is very pretty, 2D again, Star Sector, but with a lot more of a shipbuilding focus, and the fact that you can actually get out of your ship and walk around and things like that. And it's very recently had a big content update, excuse me, that makes it seem genuinely like something I want to look at. So I'm gonna have to do that too, for sure. So that's kind of what's gonna be upcoming on the channel, I think, as far as stuff in the near future. And I would like to also maybe do some more of these, because it's fun to speak to a camera and pretend that someone's there. And holy crap, the guy has 750 hours in the game. Some people like this game. Good to know. And of course, there's very much some other stuff that I would really like to look at, but I don't currently have access to, like Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, because I loved that game back on the PS2. I really want to take a look at that. I've never, well, I shouldn't say never. I have played the International Zodiac Job version of the game very briefly in an emulator, because it didn't come out here. And that was long before the Zodiac Age like remaster versions of it came out for like PS4. And now the PC version is out. I would love to check that out for sure. The cats are being weird over there. And also, of course, Final Fantasy 15 is happening for PC. I have played that on the old PS4 back right there. I've played it on that for a pretty good amount of time and really enjoyed it. So I don't know anything about the DLCs for it or any of that stuff. So I would like to check that out. on PC. I've heard that it's a bit difficult to run on PC, which, I mean, that's kind of to be expected. I haven't tried the benchmark yet. I should, to see, how that actually works out. I'm gonna do that. And then there is, this is totally irrelevant to my channel, but I have to mention it anyway for reasons. I'm super excited for Shadow of the Colossus, because I know it's out right now, but I haven't played it yet. My girlfriend wants to get it for me for my birthday, because it's my favorite game of all time, and it has been since it came out originally on PS2, and I played it. I absolutely adore that game. It's a really meaningful game to me. It's just, I have a history with that game, and I'm not gonna go into it right now. Maybe a little bit. I used to take it everywhere with me. When I got my original fat PS2 died on me because I used it all the time, and I got a PS2 Slim, which of course is pretty portable because it was a teensy little thing, like this wide, and when I went other places for family reasons, for more anti-family reasons, I used to take the PS2 Slim with me, and the one game that I would take with me was Shadow of the Colossus. So I beat that game 8 times, no less than 8 times, and I adore it. I love it to death. So I never played the PS3 sort of remaster of it, but I've heard it's not amazing. They kind of screwed with the physics, and it's not the best thing ever. So I don't really feel like I missed that much, kind of, giving it a pass. But I've heard the PS4 version is really where it's at, and I really want to play it. I passed 5 copies of it the other day, walking through Best Buy, and I was like, I want to buy. So I'm really excited to play it. My 26th birthday is coming up in 13 days on the 26th. Convenient enough. How's that? So, yeah, I'm very hyped. I don't have a capture card, unfortunately, or anything like that to hook up to the old PS4 back there, or I would be playing Monster Hunter on stream or something constantly, because I've been shoving Monster Hunter into my eyeballs all the time, because Monster Hunter. I've also been a fan of that since the original PS2 release, so Monster Hunter is life. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been happening, what's been going on, and what's coming up as far as near future goes. And I'm actually trying to get a tech support job right now, believe it or not, because, money for living purposes. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are having an alright time. Hope you guys have a nice Valentine's Day, and yeah, have a good rest of the month. I'll see what I can do on the channel, and maybe more of this. Maybe I'll start using this whole cam idea in some videos if I can. Obviously, it's not, the videos I do they're not conducive to having a cam up in the corner all the time. But certain videos, I think, especially if I start doing more gameplay stuff, it might not be a bad idea necessarily, and it's just not for all the time. But I have been wanting to do more kind of first impressions-y gameplay stuff, especially of things I've never done before at all, I know almost nothing about. And if I do some of that, I would actually like to use this. I think it'd be fun. I'd like to at least try it out a couple of times. So I might do that. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks for being here. And here's to a better year for everyone. See you guys next time.